and welcome to And Read Another Chapter. I had a birthday back in April, and I got a lot of books for my birthday, and so let's get into it. Now, while there is a lot, you're going to kind of see a theme going on in the books. So yeah, we'll just kind of get into it. Not only did I have a birthday that yielded me a couple stacks of books, I also went to I went to the library, and I had a shelf full of books, and basically it ended up being like 5 books for $1, and there were 3 that I needed for my son who's learning to read. And I found a couple that I really like to use with them. I did not bring those. They're already in his room and on his shelf, and I'm not going to go searching through that. But they're the Little Bear books. But I picked up a few more books there, and then my husband and I went to the thrift store, and their books were 29 cents each, and I picked up several children's books that I actually sent to a friend to put in her free little library that she just started. So those have already left the premises at 29 cents each. I could not pass that up, and there were some really good ones there. But I did come home with a few of those, or a few extra books for me there. And then I think that's it. So let's just kind of get into this haul. Alright, I'm actually going to start with the smallest stack, which was the thrift store, at 29 cents. I love James Herriot. I don't know if this is any different from his other ones, but this is the latest bestseller from the author All Creatures Great and Small. This is Vets in Harness. Now, I have a set of James Herriot, and I need to check and see if this is in there, or if it's been like sometimes they have different titles. If it is, I know that I can put this in my little bookshop and make a little bit of money from it. That will, of course, help feed my family, buy more books, whatever it is, buy more coffee. So I took a chance on that one. I am one of those rare people that I do not like Jane Eyre at all. I mean, it was okay. It was an okay book. I have lots of problems with that book. But I liked Agnes Grey, and I like Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I am not even going to attempt the Heathcliff novel that I can't even remember the name of right now. I keep trying to say Great Expectation. That's not it. But I'm not even going to attempt that one. I know I'm not going to like it. But they had Villette, and it is by the sister that wrote Jane Eyre, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. Somebody said that they just finished The Professor, and supposedly this is like a deeper Professor. I mean, it's not a small one, so I'm going to try it. I kind of going in very open-minded with that one. I don't know if I'll like it. And then I have Abigail Adams, A Revolutionary American Woman by Charles Ackers. I believe this is also the one that is recommended with a Charlotte Mason education. But I really like Abigail Adams, and if I can find a really good biography on it, I'm going to pick it up. So I was really excited about that one. Alright, and then so that was the thrift store. Let's do the library. Did I get that at the library? No, those were rents. I have books checked out at the library that I'm reading through. Maybe I'll take a picture and just show you. Some of them are for research. Mainly all are for research. There's no pleasure reading in there at all. But yeah, I decided to get that. But there were 2 books on the shelf outside of the Little Bear books that I picked up. One is The Beekeeper's Apprentice. Now, my 12-year-old son and I right now are doing the newest Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch, I believe the person's name is. He's the guy that does Doctor Strange, whatever his name is. And there was only one episode we skipped for those that look for clean things to watch. I don't know where it was going. It opened up very raunchy, and then something happened, and I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. I don't even want to know. And I think it's the second episode, and I have no idea if we missed anything. I don't really care. Whatever. But all of that to say, my 12-year-old son and I were doing those Sherlock Holmes. I really enjoyed another book I just recently read that kind of has a Sherlock Holmes tie-in. I just did The Red Thumb, which was kind of a contemporary with Sherlock Holmes. And then my whole family and I, we love to watch the Sherlock Holmes mysteries with Jeremy Brett. And so, why does that have to do with The Beekeeper's Apprentice? Well, in 1915, Sherlock Holmes is retired and quietly engaged in the study of honeybees in Sussex. Which, right there, I'm like, really? I don't really see him doing that. When a young woman literally stumbles into him on the Sussex Downs. 15-year-old, gawky, egotistical, and recently orphaned, the young Mary Russell displays an intellect to impress even Sherlock Holmes. Under his reluctant tutelage, this very modern 20th century woman proves a deft protege and a fitting partner for the Victorian detective. They are soon called to Wales to help Scotland Yard find the kidnapped daughter of an American senator, a case of international significance with clues that dip deep into Holmes' past. Full of brilliant deduction, disguises, and danger, the first book of the Mary Russell Sherlock Holmes mystery is a remarkable beguiling. So we'll see. We'll see. That might be a DNF, but I did want to try it. And then this one is The Last Heir to Blackwood Library. I believe I've seen this on BookTube years ago. But in post-World War I England, a young woman inherits a mysterious library and must untangle its powerful secrets. With a stroke of a pen, 23-year-old Ivy Radcliffe becomes Lady Hayward, owner of a sprawling estate on the Yorkshire moors. Yorkshire moors. Ivy has never heard of Blackwood Abbey or the ancient bloodline from which she's descended. With nothing to keep her in London since losing her brother in the Great War, she warily makes her way to her new home. The abbey is foreboding, the servants reserved and suspicious, but there is treasure waiting behind locked doors, a magnificent library. Despite cryptic warnings from the staff, Ivy feels irresistibly drawn to its dusty shelves where familiar works mingle with strange texts. There's another word and I don't know what that is or how to say it. And she senses something else in the library too, a presence that seems to have a will of its own. Rumors swirl in the village about the abbey's previous owners, about ghosts and curses, and an enigmatic manuscript at the center of it all. And as events grow more sinister, it will be up to Ivy to uncover the library's mysteries in order to reclaim her own before it vanishes forever. Lush, atmospheric, and transporting, The Last Heir to Blackwood Library is a skillful reflection on memory and the female agency, and a love letter to books from a writer at the height of her power. So, we'll see where that goes. That's all I know of those. Okay, so let's talk birthday book haul. First and foremost, my bosom friend, as I call her, she sent me Marmee. This is by Sarah Miller. We've actually been doing a lot of Louisa May Alcott together. We did Little Men as a TV series, and then we've been doing the books. And then I heard about this and told her about it. I listened to a little bit of it before I, just didn't get to the rest of it. And then my library pulled it. And so she sent me this one. So I'm really looking forward to this. Marmee is probably one of my favorite characters in Little Women. And so I really hope that it does justice. But she really liked it. So that's really cool about that. And then there were a couple of sweet ladies at my church that took me to a bookstore in Canada, and we there was a they gave me some money, Canadian dollars, to go shopping at this bookstore. There were 3 additional books that I picked up that my son was really interested in. It has to do with like Warcraft dictionary type books. And so he has those, and these are what I picked up. So I have Oliver Goldsmith's The Vicar of Wakefield. This is actually one that I've really been interested in reading, and I hope to get to that soon. But basically, the story opens in a country parsonage of Dr. Primrose, a kindly man who has a good heart, a good family, and a good income. Suddenly his idyllic life is cruelly devastated by a series of misfortunes, and he ends up in a gaol. Yet despite all this calamity and injustice, the vicar never loses sight of Christian morality, and while this conviction lends him a genuine nobility, I can't read the rest because then the stickers cover it all. So, The Vicar of Wakefield, this is one classic that I have been wanting to read. I am currently working through, basically being in the middle of book 1, rereading the Jan Karen Mitford series. I have only gotten up to, I think, A Common Life, and I want to say that's book 5 or 6, and now she's up to 12, I think. So I've only ever read half of them, I guess. And anyway, so I'm reading through the first one, and Wordsworth came up as a poet in that one, and I also have recently read a book where they were mentioning the poet Wordsworth. And my husband, with all of his love of poetry, does not have any books on William Wordsworth. So I was able to find a small little one here. These are the favorite poems. I am not much of a poetry reader, I have to say. Even last night for book club, which is actually another book I did purchase, I'll just put a picture here. G.K. Chesterton, The Man Thursday. Oh my goodness, what is the title? Whatever it is, you see it now. That opens it up with a poem, and I just handed it to my husband and I said, can you please translate? Put this in understandable English. What the heck is he talking about? And I kind of have that problem with a lot of poetry, is that I'm trying so hard to decipher what they are talking about, and it would have just been so much easier to read, here's a poem, here's what I'm trying to say. So poetry and me, just I have some problems, unless it's Robert Louis Stevenson. I do like his poetry, but I have this one, and I wanted to try and read some of those. I know I can do them online. I just don't like reading online. And I had money to do that. I also found another Grantchester mystery. This one is The Problem of Evil. I believe I have the first one. I had all 4 that I think are written, and I think our move from California to Indiana, I sold them all, and I kind of regret them. If you enjoy Father Brown, Agatha Christie, I think you will really enjoy the Grantchester Mysteries. That being said, if you're going to compare the books to the TV show, the books did a whole lot better, and the TV show completely changed a lot of things about that, which really irritated me because the book did a great job. So anyway, I think that's book Perils of Night. So this must be book 3, because I have The Shadow of Death. I do not have Perils of Night, and then this one is The Problem of Evil. Alright, and then lastly, before we moved from Indiana to Michigan, I had a Anna Karenina with a very, what I call, scandalous cover. It could look interesting. Anyway, I got rid of it. I was like, this is too heavy a book. I'm not going to read this anytime soon. Well, with my job, I have a little bit more time to read, and so I really want to attempt Anna Karenina sometime soon. I do have a couple of heavy classics that I'm going to be getting to this year. One with my mom. We're going to do, she's on here too. She's on Shatona Havoc. We're going to do The Brothers Karamazov. And then I am working through Belinda, which is supposedly Jane Austen's, like, inspiration for her books. And so I'm reading that one. I would like to get to Anna Karenina, though. And there is a Christian article that goes along with this. And it would be really interesting to read it and then kind of compare it with that Christian article of why Christians should read it. And I don't know if I can ever find that article again. I read it one time. It was really good. I don't know if I can find it again. Okay, The Man Who Was Thursday. That's that G.K. Chesterton book. I do have a brain here somewhere. I'm gonna need some coffee. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, and then we have 2 stacks. Let me show you. Here's stack number 1. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of books. This is a series. This is, I believe, the complete series of Dorothy Sayers' Lord Peter Wimsey. And this kind of came about because I picked up, actually there is a book in here that I did not get for my birthday, but I had this one, Lord Peter Wimsey. This is the complete Lord Peter Wimsey stories, as it says up here. Got really excited. I'm looking at this like, I feel like it should be bigger though. And it's just the complete short stories of Lord Peter Wimsey. So this kind of started my, well, okay, what is the first one? I want to start with the first, work my way through. And they had it in a matching cover, which then led to, can I find all of the books that look like this? And I did, except for the very last one, which is The Nine Tailors. I believe there is a copy like this. I just have not found it. And hopefully one day I can do that. Lord Peter is kind of this aristocrat. What did I? He's a more well-known up there man. More rich. Aristocracy kind of gentleman. And he kind of just stumbles upon these mysteries, and because he has some backing behind his name, he's able to kind of delve more into it than maybe certain people can with lower rank. And so that's kind of pretty much all I can tell you. I think I've read Cloud of Witnesses way back when. I really enjoy a certain television series that was put out. So there was a couple, but the one I really enjoy is this one. And so I really just wanted to get more of Lord Peter. I think he's going to be a lot more funny than somebody like Poirot. Anyway, so I have the collection is where we're trying to get at. So the first one is Whose Body? The second one is Cloud of Witness, and this is where I believe you're going to get introduced to Harriet Vane. No. Harriet Vane doesn't come into later. I'm sorry. Cloud of Witnesses, so Whose Body, Cloud of Witness, Unnatural Death, The Unpleasantness at Belladonna Club, Bellona Club, Strong Poison, Lord Peter Wimsey Mystery with Harriet Vane. So here we go. We have our introduction of Harriet Vane. The 5 Red Herrings. Have His Carcass, which is another Harriet Vane. And I really like when Harriet Vane kind of comes into the books. Murder Must Advertise. Gaudy Night. This one's like a, they're all like half this size, and then Gaudy Night is this big. This is another Harriet Vane. This is kind of like her alma mater mystery going on there. Here's another Harriet Vane, and this is Busman's Honeymoon. That one's also more of a chunker. These are all the short stories of Lord Peter, and then the last one is The Nine Tailors. And so that is the Lord Peter Wimsey books. I believe that's the complete ones, but woo! That was what I did with my birthday money. And then my daughter and I got to go to a Second and Charles, and so my mom also sent me money. I got what I needed, and there was extra, and so I told her I'm going to this Second and Charles bookstore and I'm going to get some books. And she was like, oh, that'll be fun. And when I showed her what I had, she then sent a follow-up book to go with this, because this is all that my Second and Charles had. So the first one at $4 was The Way We Live Now. This is Anthony Trollope, and let's just tell you right now, all of the books that I have right here are Trollope's. I really liked his, I think it's Dr. Thorne. Pretty sure he's the author of that one. Please tell me. Yes, he is. Okay. He's the author of Dr. Thorne. I really enjoyed the movie, and I know from what I've gathered, I'm going to love the book just as much. So, and I think Dr. Thorne is going to be a less wordy Charles Dickens, if I'm kind of gathering correctly his type of writing. He likes to write whimsical and philosophical, and we'll just see kind of where it goes from there. So I have The Way We Live Now. I believe there was also a movie done of this one. I want to say it has the David Suchet, the guy that played Hercule Poirot, but I do not know for certain. And then they had like this beautiful set. This is called this is called what, the Ballester series? No, the Barsetshire novels. And I do not know what order these are in, so I have The Small House at Allington. It's a beautiful hardback set. These are about $3.50 each for these books, and the writing is not too small. It's pretty average, so that was really exciting. Dr. Thorne, and I love that they're hardback too. The Barchester Towers, again, I can't tell you anything about these. I just know that I really enjoyed Dr. Thorne and decided, okay, let's go. It sounds like this is the very last one, because it says The Last Chronicle of Barset, and it's really thick, so we'll put that right there. This is Framley Parsonage. And then my mother said, oh, they didn't have The Warden, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I did have The Warden as a book at one point, but I don't have that anymore. I got rid of that when we moved.
Warden?
Warden.
That's something, there's something called Warden in Minecraft too.
Uh-huh, it's like a cop.
Yeah.
So she sent me The Warden, and then it fits the set that I have, which works really well since she bought pretty much the rest of these, right? So that is the haul that I have to share with you. That is a lot of books, especially as I've been trying to, you know, keep more minimalist, but to be honest, I think a lot of these I will be keeping. I know I will be keeping the Dorothy Sayers. I'm pretty sure that Anthony Trollope is going to be a favorite for classic literature. Some of these other ones I probably will really want to keep and enjoy. The ones I'm not so sure will probably be, you know, the more modern books, always, right? But we'll see. We'll see how those go, and then we'll see how these go. So let me know in the comments below if you have ever read any of these books, because I would love to hear about them, especially if you have read any of Trollope, what you thought of him, and Dorothy Sayers, what do you think of Lord Peter Wimsey? And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for coming by, and until next time, have another cup of coffee and read another chapter.